Good morning, family. Addict named Bob, and I'm truly grateful for this process in recovery. I just want to give y'all, a brief description of, you know, my travels in life. They was trained to me by my father. My father gave me my perception of life, my values for the most part. And, even though he's not the father figure the average person or society teaches you he should be, he did the best he could. And that was great enough for me because it made me the man who I am right now. That and God. God first, but that. Because my father never stepped foot in the church. He pretty much, until, he had did everything he had accomplished and achieved in life. And he settled down with Jean after coming home and doing 10 years. The first time he ever told me he loved me, that's when he started seeking family and learning the true value of his family meant time and not money. And I'm forever grateful for him, because I can't even share what he has given me as a person, even though he's not here, And that's, and that's why no matter what, I'm going to continue to give back and carry the legacy. Because my father started out in South Carolina, Newberry, South Carolina, as a little boy on a bike, delivering the medication for a pharmacy. And later on wound up in New York City, and return brought all his sisters and brothers here. And his nephew, Willie, came and lived with us on Rockaway Boulevard. And I give y'all that description because not only will it be a book, it will be a movie of my father's, who he was as a person as well. He worked a job for 20 years, and he wanted more because he took care of all of us, and he started selling drugs. As a result, he was like 35, 40 years old, going hand in hand on Rockaway Boulevard. And later, those became two fat outlets, the same thing that Boo Boo, a.k.a. 50 Cent, put in one of his movies, depict the product as, was my father's story. Yes, indeed, it was. And they became some of the biggest entities as far as illegal substances being served. And that's why I continue to preach that I will continue to give back as long as I live to my community, because my family as a whole, when it comes to my father and all the offspring that sold the drugs that he gave them to sell, hoping them to have a better life for themselves because of his, lack of information, as a better term. And, he wanted them Nike sneakers, I guess, that these big old basketball players we love so much, signing these big contracts with, and our children can't even afford them sneakers. Ain't that something? But how they gonna get them? Because I'm a victim of that. I wanted them Air Force Ones that was $120, but I ain't even go to school, so how I was gonna get them? And how's the average kid that's wearing them now getting them? The mother either breaking her back, or the father either breaking their back to giving them the money, taking out of that rent money, because we can't survive now. But on a stronger note, man, I was watching a documentary on Shaq and Reebok. Shout out to Reebok. And this advertisement is for free. They reaching back into the community, starting out with these young individuals, man. And I hope your product is cheap, man. Like, something is of value for, the average person to buy. I really do. But Shaq, I'm so inspired by your family aura. I'm so inspired, man. I want to cry just thinking about, wow, you love your family and you realize the mistakes you made and you lost. And that's where I'm at in my life. Our story ain't the same, but the pain is, you know. I'm an addict named Bob, and I'm truly grateful for this process. One more thing I want to share, and I want to give a special shout out to Stephon Marbury. Man, when you signed your contract, you made sure they had, I forgot who it was. I don't know if it was Converse or one of them. I'm not sure, and I don't want to advertise the wrong, give out the wrong information. But you wanted that shoe available for the average person, and you did. And I must say, I was one of the guys that refused to wear that shoe because I thought it was too cheap. Because I had champagne taste with a $2 budget, you know, and I didn't realize the value of what you was doing in that moment. And that's why that sneaker is still not around. That's right. These guys that's getting these big old contracts and advertising these products that our children want, or I used to want and couldn't afford it. They got to get it some kind of way, they think, because the average person can't afford these sneakers. Man, picture me, I ain't never paid more than $120 for a sneaker with me $1 million or $2 in my stash, and didn't pay. I refused to wear my clothes, my money on my back. I ain't never been that guy. I might drive in something on, but I'm definitely not putting it on my back. But on a stronger note, man, listen, man, we got to start giving back to our community. It ain't always about $1, because I ain't got a dime yet. And they owe like a mother right now. But I ain't even searching for it, because it's going to come anyway. Because I know why I'm doing what I'm doing. I'm doing it to give back. That's why I can talk about anything with no problem within means of the God I serve. That's what I'm talking about, you know, serving God. My whole purpose here on life now is to serve him, and only him, you know, first. That's why I can be on here with no tape and the whole 9 yards, because they coming too, because I done took care of that. But it's a process, everything. But I ain't going to stop being me for nobody else but God. When he tell me it's over, you know. And yeah, man, these athletes, you know, I watched Shaq on this show, man, go to one of these athletes and, you know, gave him the blueprint of the system, building Reebok up to one of the best companies. But he chose to go with Nike, you know what I'm saying, because they was offering more money, you know. And I bet them same sneakers that athlete signed for cost about $200 or $300. I work a job 8 hours a week, and I can't get I wouldn't even pay it, first of all. But I guarantee you I can't afford to buy those sneakers and pay my bills. I know that for a fact. So how about a kid getting them? You know, this is about each one, teach one, man. It ain't always about the dollar. You already got the money. You just being greedy now. Because, you know, at the end of the day, you got to survive and you got to take care of your family. Ain't no doubt about it. But mine shouldn't be crawling in the street using drugs as a result of you selling them and doing whatever else they was doing to get what they was getting. And so depression became so hard that it wasn't enough left to do but pick up a stem or put some dope or drink or put alcohol or whatever else, you know, you're suffering from, you know, as a result of you feeling less than. I'm an addict named Bob, and I'm truly grateful for this process.